Hey, it's Chaya, and I'm back with another episode of Naked. It's the untold story of the aftermath of living with the big four A's: alcoholism, abuse, anxiety, and ADHD. Yesterday I showed up here and I showed up as a mess. I wanted to show you how PTSD looks, and I just feel bad for the part of me that lived in yesterday that didn't think I was gonna get out. Because there's still a part of me that sometimes thinks that way. But I always get out. I get through. I go through the pain. And I find that beautiful light at the end of the tunnel. Because I found this formula, these 3 things that I do. And by doing these 3 things, I'm guaranteed to come out at one point or another. I'm guaranteed to come back to the reality I really live in. You want me to share that with you today? Yeah? All right, so first let me share with you how I learned this. All right? God, grant me the serenity to accept the people I cannot change, the courage to change the one I can, and the wisdom to know that one is me. I want to talk to you about a time frame before I knew this, where I would get stuck and think I wouldn't get out. I'm looking at the photo here and I'm starkingly beautiful, strikingly beautiful. But if you look at my eyes, they literally pull you in, and there's this anger. And I remember that anger. See, in that photo, I had just come to visit my parents. They moved halfway across the earth to Israel. I had just come to visit them for the first time, and they seemed like they didn't need me. And I want to keep reminding you, this is just about my feelings. I felt like they didn't need me. And see, I had at that point been so broken by the fact that that they moved, that I had gotten engaged to prevent being homeless, that I broke off the engagement to prevent being miserable for the rest of my life, that I even moved in after a few weeks. I moved in at this family friend's house that were rich. They were a rich family, and I was being told that I had to give them value so that they would want me to stay there. So pretty much that I was not valuable enough just being me, and I had to show up in a different manner to them. I don't know the messages I was being given at that point, or receiving at that point. It's not about what they gave, it's about what I received, was that I was unwanted, unneeded, and they were right. I was unlovable. I felt so bad. And then I went to my parents, and they seemed to be okay without me. And that completely shattered me. I was there for just like 3 weeks, and I started drinking, smoking, doing all kinds of different stuff. I remember first time I did dabs, I pretended I had done it before so that they would let me. I didn't even care what it was. I didn't need to know what it was. As long as it was going to take me out of the feeling I was in, it was good. And even if it wouldn't, like, there was nothing that could be worse than what I was feeling. I would walk around feeling so bad. I thought I was ugly, fat, and I'm looking at the pictures and like, oh my God, I was so beautiful. I got into really uncomfortable situations. Like, I was out with guys that I would never go out with. One time I had to literally, like, pray to God that I'd get out without him raping me. At that point, I didn't know rape was real. But that laid the ground for what happens next. That laid the ground for me to be the perfect prey for the kind of predator that waits exactly for that moment to enter in. The kind of predator who knows what buttons to press. The kind of predator who stands in the side, watches. Ooh, 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 ooh. That laid the ground. Feeling so unwanted. Meeting people I wouldn't meet. At that point, I felt so bad about myself that I wanted to do and was willing to do anything to numb that pain. And that brings us right into the next chapter of my life. The time that I got stuck into 9 months of hell. Just to avoid feeling unwanted. To avoid really feeling it. I was feeling it anyway, but I wouldn't let myself feel it. And because of that, all I could do is suppress it. And I turned on a beacon that let in the worst person in my life. The person who broke me down for 9 months straight. Emotionally, I'm gonna wrap this up. Mentally, sexually, spiritually, every part of me for 9 months straight. This is what laid the groundwork. And because I didn't know the 3 things that I know today, I ended up falling prey and getting hurt, really badly hurt. But the beauty of that is that over the years of not knowing this, over the years of getting hurt like that, I developed this keen sensibility, this keen awareness of the pattern of what was happening. And as I started to become aware of it, I started to become curious. How is it that I get into the same kind of story, but different characters? If I keep getting there, then maybe if I learn the other side of it, if I learn how to get out of it really well, maybe eventually I can avoid it altogether. Or I'll get out so fast that it won't even matter. I won't get hurt. Do you ever get yourself stuck in the same cycles again? Do you find that? Like different characters, same story? Yeah? Well, then this will help. These 3 tools that I use are just the core. They're the core of how to wake you up from whatever sleep you're in. So whatever deep feeling you're trying to run from, whatever dark feeling, stop. Don't wait until you get into that relationship, until you get hurt, until you're almost killed. Don't wait for that to get out. Let's get out now, okay? Let me tell you how you do it. These are the 3 techniques. 1, we're gonna share openly and honestly how we really feel. Now, if we can do it with other people, it would be the best, because then we gotta go all the way. But even to ourselves, on paper or in person, out to the mirror, out loud, however you want to do it. But the bottom line is honest truth. Honest. You need to be so completely honest with yourself on how you feel. It's going to hurt. If it hurts, you know you're doing it right. You don't go to the gym and it doesn't hurt. It hurts. Now you know you're doing it right. Because when you're being honestly truth about your feelings, what happens is you start to make space for them. So instead of suppressing them, you actually allow them to come out. And yes, for a day you might feel horrible. Yes, maybe 2. You might. But if you're being honest with your feelings, you're giving yourself the opportunity to walk through it. And I can tell you, I guarantee you, the only way out is through. I've tried getting out. There's no way out, only through. So then let's just go through willingly. Why the hell go into... Why go kicking and screaming into heaven? Let's do it all the way. So first, completely truth. Write it down. Say it out loud and give yourself that space. The second one, this one perhaps was the hardest for me, is accepting But when I say accepting, it means forgiving. Forgiving yourself for feeling this way. See, I couldn't forgive myself for feeling unwanted. I thought I was being ungrateful. I gave myself a whole list. There was always an excuse why I was not allowed to feel unwanted. I loved my parents. I didn't want them to be the bad guys, but who said they have to be bad for me to feel unwanted? Forgive yourself. By doing that, you create even more space for that feeling. You create enough space so that you can actually feel and enjoy this. And you can really give yourself the space to do it, to do the work you need to do. And number 3, and this one I've really gained over the last year, the strongest one yet. Once you've done the other 2, this one becomes a piece of cake, but it's still hard. Correct yourself when you're lying. You lie to yourself. We all do. Yesterday I lied to myself saying I wasn't wanted. My God. I lied to myself saying it's the same as it used to be. I lied to myself saying that the whole world could crash on me. I lied to myself saying that I really... But as I did the steps, I corrected my lies every time I found them. And this is all done through compassion. I said, hey, I get why you think that, but this is how it's different. So for example, I get why you think you're not wanted, but this is why it's different. You know, you have a best friend, you have great friends, you have nieces, they all want you. You have, you guys, you have so many other things, and there are so many people who want you. And every time the lies came up, I said, I know why you think that, but that's not true. And I'm going to wrap it up just for time's sake. But those are the 3 techniques. You want to get through any feeling you're feeling without suppressing it, that's how you do it. For me, I had my quickest turnaround ever. Within 24 hours, I went from feeling unwanted, from literally wanting to be depressed for the next few weeks, to to that. Do you want to do that? Well, then walk the walk. If you have any questions about this or need any help going forward in it, just reach out. I'm right there with you. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Like and subscribe if you like this. I need to know it so I can keep on doing it. And if there's any suggestions or anything you want to discuss with me, please comment, email, Instagram, reach out. I'm here. I'm in the boat right next to you. Let's sail it to where we want to go. Okay, see you soon.